So recently, I've been thinking, should I quit video games? Some of my friends don't play as often anymore, and as of recently, one of them just quit straight up, and they feel pretty good about it. Now, currently, I'm of the mindset of video games are fine. As long as that's not all you do, video games are perfectly okay. I think it's okay to have days where you play for an extremely long amount of time in a row. It's fine. As long as you're going to school or have a full-time job or have a social life outside the game, I think you shouldn't be shamed for playing video games. But now I want to hear other perspectives on the matter. I found this video when I searched up, should I quit video games, in the search bar of YouTube, so I think I'm gonna hear this guy out and see what's up. Mind you, I am not a person to be easily persuaded, by the way. I'm very much a person that can get stuck in his ways, and I'm trying to improve that about myself, but I just want to clarify that I am not going to be easy to win over. So this better be the best video I've ever seen, especially with one of my great loves, which is video games. So let's get this party started. 30K views? I mean, that's pretty good. It's more views than I'll ever see in my lifetime, so this dude must know what he's talking about, right?
If you're competing, doing esports or doing anything where you're making money, possibly. Good. Go for you. Good for you.
Okay, so right off the bat here, my man points out that if you're competing and making money, it's all good to do this quote unquote bad thing known as gaming, which I think is valid. If you're making money, that's essentially your job now. Makes sense.
It doesn't matter what you're playing. What matters is how much time you're spending into it and how much time you could be spending that into something else that would actually improve your life. The reality is you could be doing a lot more with your time.
Okay, that's valid. It is true that video games are a huge time waster. He says that you could make a lot better use of your time, but doesn't go into detail, I noticed. Give me an example, I have a job. I spend time with my family somewhat. I'm gonna be honest, it's not a lot of time, but I make an effort. I have a social life. I play sports. I go outside regularly. Like give me an example that resonates with me.
It greatly affects your productivity. Let's say you're at work or at school or just doing something that you're supposed to be doing, and all you can think about is going home and just playing video games.
Affects productivity. The example he uses is being at work. Thinking about video games can affect how well you work. This is also pretty true. I found myself at work all the time thinking about going home and gaming rather than the task at hand. I don't think it's gotten so bad that I can't do my job correctly, but I can definitely see that it might affect my productivity a little bit at work. But saying that, I'm also strongly on the side of work doesn't define me. I'm not going to put 100% into my job. I probably never will. Unless I find a job that I truly love, which is unlikely, I'm not going to put more effort than I need to. What defines me is what I do outside the workplace and how I spend my time off. That's just me though.
The CEOs of these companies, these like Blizzard, Epic Games, whatever it is, their main objective is to keep your brain occupied onto their game to make more money, to make more screen time, whatever the hell it is. They don't want us starting businesses. They don't want us going to the gym. They don't want us improving our own life.
I think a lot of people are self-aware of the fact that Epic, Riot, Activision, all these big dick companies just want to mooch off of us for money. It is a good point, however, that you could be in the gym instead of playing games. It is something I'm considering trying. The only thing holding me back is I keep telling myself that I'm not fat, push-ups, squats, and the exercise I get at work and playing sports is good enough. I don't need to be ripped kind of thing. I could be wrong though. I think I have the time and perhaps the money to go to the gym semi-regularly, but I'm still on the fence about it. Starting a business though is something that 1% of people are built to do, and that is definitely not me. I have no desire to start a business and run it.
You wake up a day later and you're in the same boat that you were in the day before, and you don't even realize it until you stop. That's the main thing I want to get into, is you don't realize how much time you're spending and how much potential you're wasting by sitting there and playing video games.
So here he says that video games are designed to make you feel comfortable in the current life you're living, and you don't even realize how trapped you truly were until you put the game down. This point is surprisingly strong for me. I remember a time a couple months back where nothing changed in my life, and only when I started writing and journaling did I see that something had to change if I wanted to make myself happy again. So I made a switch. If he's saying that not playing video games will make another positive change in my life, this could be the strongest point he's made. Because looking back, I've noticed that for the past couple weeks at least, nothing has changed at all. Ever since I've gotten back from my vacation, I've been either working or sleeping. That's pretty much it. Granted, the summer league that I signed up for is starting in a couple weeks, but maybe I could be doing better things with my time if I put the game down for good. I don't know.
The fact that you and your friends would rather sit there and play Call of Duty while there are other men grinding, hustling, reading, putting their phones down for hours at a time. They're thinking about, I have a goal, I have a reason to be here, and I have to do it or else I am a failure.
Luckily for me, the friends I play with online, I also hang out with regularly outside the game, so I think that's fine. The part about me being a failure because I'm not constantly thinking about money, grinding, and looking like a fitness YouTuber is a bit odd to me. I may be alone in this line of thinking, but I think it's perfectly okay to be okay with and even want a life of mediocrity. I mean, it sounds bad, but what I mean by that is a life where I'm not trying so hard all the time. A life where I could just relax on my days off and catch up on sleep, live a perfectly healthy and happy lifestyle without waking up at 5 a.m. all the time to quote unquote grind, as they say. I don't perceive myself as a failure. I lead a relatively good life. I have my own place. I take care of myself and I have fun doing so. But I mean, I kind of get it. If you want more out of life, then maybe it is time to put the controller down and turn off the PC. I get that.
There's people that are doing more than you are, and that needs to upset you. That needs to make you uncomfortable.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, though.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be yoga. It could be jump rope. It could be running. It doesn't matter.
I like how all the examples he's giving here either have to do with physical health or starting a business. And although physical health is important, I consider myself pretty healthy already. I'm at a nice weight with a bit of muscle and a good body for the sports that I play. It's really all I need. I don't need to be a bodybuilder. And again, starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business is not rated E for everyone, my brother.
I didn't realize just how bad this was until he showed me how many hours he has on one game. He had an entire 365 days.
Golly! A whole year playing a game? That's just one game, by the way. This dude probably has years of time on other games too. That is insane. When you take it to that extreme, I could see how that could be bad for you. You have a problem. Playing until 5 in the morning is not good, bro. Not only that, but it's very unhealthy. Dude is killing his sleep schedule. If I had a friend like that, I could definitely sympathize with this guy. That's gotta be an eye-opener for sure. Especially if you also have that type of time on a game too. That'd be crazy.
Limit yourself. 30 minutes a day. As soon as you're done with your 30 minutes, off. As soon as you have that urge, immediately the first thought should be, what else could I do right now? You need to set a limit of how long you're playing.
I feel like I don't play enough video games to really set a limit on myself. I already work 12-hour shifts and I go to bed accordingly to get enough sleep. That already is like a natural limiter. I can really only get 1, maybe 2 hours a night of gaming if I'm lucky. On my days off though, I feel like I could limit myself. One way I could do that is by setting specific times, maybe. Like not doing it too early in the morning and not going on too late at night. I think that's okay with me. Setting an actual time limit would be kind of hectic because I'll always be timing myself and saying, oh, I gotta get my minutes in, bro. I gotta play now, even though it's like already 10 p.m. I think setting time boundaries instead of time limits would be better.
By a week or 2 weeks, you will have a complete different mindset, and your judgment of video games and your judgment of yourself will be so much better.
So according to him, I'll have better judgment and higher standards after 2 weeks of limited gaming. I find that hard to believe. I don't think you're going to see instant change like this guy apparently did if you choose to start limiting your time on the game. I think it's a good idea, don't get me wrong. You should limit yourself and aim for moderation, but I don't think you're going to become the second coming of Christ in 2 weeks if you do this.
There's nothing wrong with saying no. There's a lot of good things that come from saying no.
This is something I personally struggle with, actually. Not in the context of saying no to someone that wants to hop on Valorant, but like in life, I tend to get pushed around and stepped on a little because I can't say no. Although he may have not intended it this way, I feel that, brother. I completely agree that good things come when saying no. I need to take steps to improve that, man. Maybe cutting down on video games can help.
Anytime you have some like actual downtime where you cannot do anything more productive, you can sit there and play for a little bit. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
W man. So I guess he's saying you don't have to quit like he did cold turkey, but you can limit yourself and potentially do something more with your life at certain downtime points.
It's been great, guys. That's the end of my first video. Nick Fox out.
And with that, the legend concludes his video. Near the end, he says,
I want you guys to do this. 2 weeks of no video games, and every time you have the urge to sit there and play with your friends or do whatever you want to do, every time you want to turn on your PlayStation, get a notebook out, write down one thing you could be doing instead of video games that would improve your life.
nah, I'ma do my own thing. But a good takeaway from this video for me is that I could definitely limit myself. I don't have a problem with that. I think nothing but good can come out of that, actually. I want to be clear also, he points out that gaming until 2 a.m. with your boys is not a good night. I can't lie, it is a good night, okay? My first squad victory royale with the boys will always be a core memory. Some people just want a game for long periods of time. I think that's fine. As long as it's not every night and you're still eating healthy and stuff, go have fun with your mates. It's all good. Just take the time to really evaluate yourself sometimes. Maybe put the controller down once in a while and do something else. Sniff grass, brother. Anyway, I think my mindset has shifted a little, but not too much. I think instead of quitting, you should aim for moderation. Balance in life to me is key. You don't have to force yourself to do something you don't want to do just because some dude on the internet says so. And what works for him might not work for you. Live your life how you want, man. That's it for me, I think. W video overall. W mans. I wish him all the best in his no gaming journey. I'm sure he'll go on to do great things. Good night, good luck, and I'll see you next time.